Alrighty, welcome back my friends and fellow gamers, I'm Wrath, and let's continue with this quick introductory playthrough of, or play into, of Tyranny. It's an older game, but well worth the look. So, okay, so when we left off, we'd completed the first part of the prologue. So, and we're on to the next one, and I chose the Apex. The mountain nation of Apex, ruled for generations by the Queen of House Venderin, stood at the heart of the Tears. No army could bypass the landlocked realm without leaving their flanks exposed to attack. By the second year of the war, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus had pushed deep into the Tears. Elements of both armies were dispatched to conquer Apex. Tuon assigned you to accompany them, tasked with bringing Kairos' law to the territory, as well as keeping an eye on both armies. Okay, so two choices here. Denial of Strength. A new school of mages presented problems and opportunities. Or Battle of Edging Pass, or Edgering Pass. The Archons of Stone. The Archon of Stone's assault was perhaps too successful. Let's go with this one. Magic seems to be my guy's thing, so... a school of water mages loyal to the Tearsmen poses a substantial threat. The Disfavored wish to annihilate the school, while the Scarlet Chorus insists on capturing the mages wishing to learn their craft. You side with the Scarlet Chorus, ordering the mage elders taken alive for interrogation. All mages had the chance to surrender before the war, and trying to capture the enemy would lead to needless losses. Okay, gonna make a rash decision here. Though countless lives were lost taking the mages into custody, the Scarlet Chorus praised your name as they dragged the beaten elders of the school to the Voices of Nerat's tent. As a wave of screams and incoherent pleas reached their crescendo, the Scarlet Chorus soldiers outside cheered for their Archon. The Disfavored adjourned to their camp in grim silence, claiming the chorus lacked the will and desire to fully wipe out all traces of the enemy school. Okay. I'm going to pay for that one. A captive captain. Kairos forces debate over the fate of an enemy captain. Poisoning the well. Poor communication led to the gruesome death of Disfavored scouts. Let's go with this one. When Kairos' forces captured a celebrated enemy hero, the armies bickered over his fate. The Disfavored wanted him set free to convince his peers of Kairos' mercy. The Scarlet Chorus wanted him flayed and staked as an example. I will go with these guys. You agreed with the Disfavored's plan and sent the enemy captain back with a message. All those who surrendered or cooperated would be treated with deserving respect as subjects of Kairos' peace. I kind of wish I hadn't killed that, spent so many lives trying to capture those other guys, but... Shocked by their clemency, the enemy captain vowed to deliver his message in full and paid his respects before departing for his encampment. Though typically more uncompromising, the Disfavored praised your innovative thinking. The Scarlet Chorus despised what they viewed as resources wasted only to release a known enemy back into the wild. Yeah, I can see their frustration there. With the defeat of Apex and the inevitability, the armies of Kairos met to discuss how to put an end to this stage of the conquest. Both armies agreed to send an offer of parley. Along with their acceptance, the enemy requested that you appear at the meeting. Word of your fair dealings had apparently spread to their ranks. How did you orchestrate the surrender of the realm of Apex? Through days of mediation, you negotiated the surrender of the Valley of Kairos forces, putting an end to further bloodshed. Taunting the Queen of Apex into striking you under the banner of truce, you baited the Queen of Apex into a duel and slew her, frightening her vassals into submission. I don't like that one. I like this one. So we're going to go with that one. Former enemies were loath to part with their land, but they were even more reluctant to continue a war they were losing at every turn. Tearsmen are a stubborn lot, and despite their grim situation, it still took days of discussion and diplomacy to show them the madness of tenacity. On the third day of mediation, the rulers of Apex finally submit to your terms of surrender, putting an end to the war in the valley and freeing up Kairos' forces to march deeper into the tiers. Boom! Crushed. The land of Apex finally rested into the hands of Kairos' forces. The Scarlet Chorus paused to revel in victory while the disfavored prepared for the next fight, affording themselves but an evening's rest. Kairos' armies radiated out from the conquered citadel and worked their way across the tiers. The disfavored and Scarlet aimed to dominate as much territory as possible in the coming years. Your distinguished reputation in Kairos' military left the choice of your next destination yours to make. Okay, so we have Azure, we have Vellum, or Stalwart. Okay, so Kairos dispatched the Archon Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. Kairos' conquering gaze fell upon the Vellum Citadel, its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets. That one seems like it's someone I'd be interested in. Stalwart, with its easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm in the tiers. Alright, I'm gonna go with the Citadel. Okay. I like how you can't be everywhere. The Vellum Citadel was an archive and library of massive scale. Its inhabitants were known as the School of Ink and Quill, a circle of mages that centuries ago carved out their own mountainous refuge on lands unsettled by other major realms. Legends said that the Citadel housed a treasure trove of arcane knowledge. The Overlord's spies infiltrated the school and confirmed as much. The time was ripe to send a detachment to the great library fortress and force the scholars to yield to Kairos. Okay. Chain of command. A peaceful surrender turned bloody. Siren's song ensnares some stealthy sages. Let's go with this one. Siren, Archon of Song, used her power to enthrall enemy mages who crept beyond the citadel walls. After Kairos' forces rounded up the arcane practitioners, the disfavored began executing the new captives before they could share dangerous knowledge, a crime under Kairos law, with the Scarlet Chorus. Punished the disfavored for executing mages bound to the Scarlet Chorus, ordering that several disfavored soldiers be given to the Archon of Song as her personal bodyguards. You calmed the disfavored with a compromise. The sages' mouths would be bound with iron bridles, preventing them from speaking their forbidden knowledge. The disfavored fitted the sages with their restraining masks. The Scarlet Chorus openly criticized the suppression of enemy intelligence. He gave the soldiers a stern lesson on Kairos' law and the sensitive treatment of forbidden knowledge. But that didn't stop the whispering and rumors that the conquest was being mismanaged. Okay. Composed songs of strength and provoked bloody slaughter. Spymaster agents. Suspicions arose when sages surrendered. Okay. A group of enemy mages surrendered to the disfavored, claiming to be spies loyal to the voice of Nerat. No one in the army could verify the claim. The disfavored readied to interrogate the mages, but the Scarlet Chorus protested, demanding that the prisoners be given to their custody. They couldn't risk the voice of Nerat's secrets falling into the wrong hands. You presume that a discussion or interrogation followed. When asked about it in the following day, the Scarlet Chorus admitted that they sent the mages to the voice of Nerat with an escort, dispatching them under the cover of night without due authorization. You reprimanded the soldiers for keeping you out of the loop, but there was naught else to be done in that matter. Food and morale dwindling as the siege party realized that the enemy would win this war of attrition. Turon sent word that Kairos' patience had run thin. The Overlord would cast an edict of fire on the enemy. That parchment arrived in the slender case of engraved iron. Written on it, the words of a spell powerful enough to destroy the Vellum Citadel. You had the choice of when to read the edict. Reading it at sunrise would offer your enemy no warning of the devastation to come. You could also wait until sunset, giving them ample time to flee or make amends. Opting to give the enemy no quarter, you proclaim the Edict of Fire at the first moment of dawn, granting the enemy no warning of the destruction to come. Though the chorus insisted your actions doomed their spies, the disfavored applauded your decision, claiming that they still had spies within the Citadel. The Scarlet Chorus urged you to warn the mages of the Overlord's edict. Granting their request, you met with the enemy under a blue flag of peace and warned them of their doom, giving the Chorus spies and the enemy a chance to run. Nope. The Lord hath commanded, and so it will be obeyed. Read the edict as the new sun rose behind the citadel, casting a long shadow in its wake. You were the last person to see the halls of knowledge the moment before devastation. The earth shook, and red-orange light glowed in the foundation of the sprawling citadel, bubbling up from under the library. A torrent of lava heaved with explosive force, gushing from the windows and beneath loose bricks, melting hostile trenches in the surrounding land. The mages awoke to smoke and fire. For most, it is already too late. Only a handful of bewildered mages escaped the smoldering collapse of the massive library fortress. Kairos will be done. That's frightening. The Edict of Fire. The armies of Kairos left the devastation of Vellum Citadel in silence. From that day forward, the Tears came to know the once noble citadel as the Burning Library. This was an undisputed loss of resources, knowledge, culture, and life. But a message had been sent. The Overlord will not tolerate defiance. You didn't have long to rest before Tuon called you into service once more. You were one of the last to depart from the mountains, and as you journeyed off, you spotted a few campfires in the mountains. They were mere specks, dwarfed by the inferno, the last gasp of survivors, or perhaps looters from Kairos' army, bored and daring enough to pick through the ashes. Man, that's like super tragic. Conquest complete. You have reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? I will continue, because this is just a introductory deal. So now it is the actual story. So I'm probably going to do about 1 or 2 more videos of this, and I'm just going to upload them in a quick burst. But this should be a neat experience. I'm really liking this game because it's like, I want my guy to not be like a total a-hole, but also to, you know, sort of like balanced but lawful evil, I guess.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the Tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The 2 armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the Tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the Tiers.
You are making a mistake.
The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Oh, damn. Oh, good God. Okay. Okay. So the Lord be praised. When I heard of the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. But his favorite warrior claps it, her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her legion. A pleasure to see you again, Fatebinder. You were with us since before the first official days of the conquest. And so it's fitting you're here now, in what I hope is that last gasp of resistance from these backward tearsmen. Here's hoping you can convince the Archons to settle on a plan to crush the Oathbreakers. That is why you're here, right? I come bearing an edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task or die. Okay. Your senses see more than mine, good Fatebinder. I do not pretend to know much about such things, but if that was Kairos' magic and you are here on important business, well, you don't have to be an Archon of Secrets to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague, an edict of twisted bones. I don't know that telling her you've traveled a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you at... Her voice fell silent. Her attention snapped eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers through the mountains to gather help from outside the valley. She points over to the collapsed path by which you arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. Okay.
I got it.
Okay. Wait. Journey uses a pausable real-time combat system because you will often manage more than one character at a time. It is a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real time to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met. Your first character can always perform basic attacks using their equipped weapon or their fists if fighting unarmed. Characters also have special abilities and spells they can use in combat. When a character is selected, their abilities bar displays their hotkeys abilities as new abilities and the spells are granted. They are automatically added to the ability bar. All your character's abilities and spells can be accessed by selecting the category icon at the bottom. Okay. Use an ability, left click on the ability icon and press the hotkey of corresponding location on the ability bar, your cursor will change to indicate whether your mouse is over a valid target for the ability. If the cursor has a red X in the corner, you are not over a valid target. If the cursor has a pair of feet in the corner, you will need to move closer to the target to use the ability. For abilities that target party members, heals, boss, etc., you can click on party portraits to target the ability on that party member. Okay, folks. Press escape at any time to cancel targeting of an ability. All characters in the game, friend and foe, have 5 primary defenses against attack, parry, dodge, endurance, will, and magic. These defenses are based on the character's attributes, equipped items, and other effects. The character's accuracy is based on their skill with the type of weapon they are wielding. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defense. Any attack is made to determine how likely the attack will be to hit. Okay. 4 possible results of attack: hit, critical hit, graze, and miss. Critical hit increases the damage, while graze reduces it. With each attack, you gain experience with the weapon skills used to make an attack. Even a miss will grant some experience. Okay, so... oh, spacebar is what pauses. Okay. Oh, I only have myself.
Sorry, I can't.
There are 6 categories of talents available to your character: leadership, defense, power, agility, range, magic. With each level, you gain 1 point to purchase a talent from any of these categories. There's a talent tree. Each tier of talents unlocks based on how many talent points you have spent within the tree. To learn a talent, select the icon, confirm, and save. Each companion has their own talent tree with unique abilities. These abilities unlock at the same number of the character's talents. As you spend points within that companion's talent tree, further tiers of talents become available. Okay.
On it.
We should be vigilant and deal with the remaining Oathbreakers in the past. Seems like a suicide mission. Carry on.
The glory of Kairos!
Squeeze through the gap.
Heads up, we have company. I got it. Right. Right. Will do. On it. Will.
For the glory of Kairos! Shoo!
got some wounds. You can see hints of entrails between his fingers. You're wounded. You lastly pinched you. This, got a scratch. I've seen twice as worse, 10 times over. He doubles over in pain, gagging and shivering. And we will save him. The soldier moans and shakes his head. Raven Ashes. Ash protects. You go on and help the others. That. Can't I like this guy?
Will do.
Alright. Can't apparently loot all of these guys. Can't loot him. Magic mushroom.
Try and catch me, worm.
Line skyfall weaves around the Verlaine guard, attackers avoiding their weapons with fluid grace. She nods and acknowledges you. Advance to her control. This one's crazy too. Much blood in her water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Ha! Fate Finder. You're here at last. Care to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery?
For the realm of Apex charge, level their weapons in advance. Okay, so now it's my turn.
I'm not.
I've got burning iron. Weapon bows. What is she currently wielding? Oh, she's wielding skewer. Okay. Skewer. This guy.
Here to make friends. I'll tear your skull out by your ass!
Okay. No, okay.
On it.
Take that! Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
Fire surveys the fresh portion and with satisfaction.
I'm Verse, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian guard we killed didn't come alone.
A Scarlet Fury, one of the elite killers of our ignoble gang. You'll see more than a few of us around camp, but don't let that fool you. We're a rare breed. Most of the soldiers in the Scarlet Chorus are little more than farmers and children armed with rusted forks. Makes them easier to control. The voices of Nerat called his best fighters to this siege. There must be something important about Vendrian's well, though don't ask me what. The Archon isn't in the habit of spilling secrets. Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching. No reason to pity the fallen. Before long, we might wish we'd joined them here. But at least we'll enjoy heavy pockets and warm toes. For the voices of Nerat!
Okay, so that loots everything in range. Okay, so pause. Okay. Oh, okay. So inventory. What have I got here? Iris's edict. Okay, so she's a dual wielder as well. Okay. Sun Soldier's Javelin. That powered on. Okay, I'll take that. Okay. Also heal. Okay, so she's got some already. So we'll give her a few more. Okay, now split slam. Ah, there we go. Let's give her 5. Puts her up to fighting condition. Okay. So let's switch her to ranged combat. And switch me to magical combat, and then we will make our way. So whole group. There we go. Go there. Okay. Let's see here. We can't. Let's see. see what's going on, so we'll move here. Fast forward, no looking back. Our wars as his thoughts held high, his words largely lost over the din of combat. You! As his attention lands on you, a double take of recognition comes over the man's face. But the peace binder from the wall. If you've come to once again talk peace, it seems you are too late. We give him a chance for surrender. By letting surrender meant an end to what little mercy and goodwill Kairos forces have or ever will show. Now there is no turning back. He shakes his head with a frown. I know you tried to do right by us in the past, but now you are between us and the way out. Nothing personal. Run down the Earthbreakers. Let none escape. From the red mob of reinforcements from the south, a blood chanter emerges at the head of the rabble. Her own crest and her staff pulsing with crimson tides. Signing sigils of magic and a local symbol in her mouth, the blood chanter scribes a series of spells in the air. The red glow surrounding shines the Roman guard, pulls as the chanter's magic worms its way into their minds, blinding them with rage. Just as
Heads up.
okay, so I want her to stay back and use burning iron. I'm gonna switch to my swords and engage him with the bleed.
I got it. Will do.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass!
Will do.
For the queen!
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
Don't you die on me! I'll tear your skeleton out by...
I got my ass handed to me. Holy shit.
You got it.
Let's loot these guys here real quick. Anything to loot over here? Yep. Horde bracers, okay. Better than nothing, I suppose. That guy looks like he's hiding. That won't do. Not at all. Okay. Stow your weapons or we find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Okay. 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 Yep. Hmm. Okay. honor guard bronze, two-handed, otter. And alrighty, well, this video is about an hour long now. I'm really getting into this, and I'm gonna have to play this in like earnest to really make myself known here. So anyway, I will go ahead and catch you all later. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up. I hope you've liked this initial look. This looks like a really detailed game, sort of like Baldur's Gate, and seems very similar in the style. But you play a bad guy, which is really kind of cool. Anyway, I will, if you like this, subscribe, and I'll do a right and proper playthrough of this, and we will, we'll make a proper series out of it. But until next time, I'm Wrath. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the flip side.